And we're live. And we are live, Brett. Welcome to the WTF moment. Welcome to What's the Future? Welcome to making AI work. No one's watching us, Brett. I'm very upset.
Yeah, we haven't posted anything online.
Are we live?
Oh, there we go.
I can hear myself, yes.
Now I've just seen how you've announced that. You shouldn't seem so fucking surprised, Mike. This is not a WTF moment. People do this every day.
They do. They really do. But I think it's quite cool. I think it's a lot of fun. But you know what? We talk about this WTF moment, and we've got some cool stuff to talk about today about how to make AI work. And I mean, this is obviously something that we're quite passionate about, and it's something that we really are excited about. And you've done some pretty cool little pretty pictures, haven't you, Brett? Because I'm going to bring this up into the screen, an image around AI, and I'm going to ask you to talk about it.
Hold on doing that just yet. I think it's important we set the context. And you most likely aren't taking advantage of my phenomenal animation on describing all of this.
No.
And it's going to be one boring ass picture. So yeah, this is a bit of the thinking behind it. So what does a business actually need to do to get artificial intelligence right? And I think everyone just goes, I need to hire a bunch of data scientists. Yes. And I give them just an Excel sheet with a bunch of data that I've got that I really don't want to do anything with. But, I know there's lots of information there. And I tell them to go find the secret gold nugget. And the amount of meetings we've been in where I feel sorry for the data scientists, where guys are going, find my golden nugget, please. And sadly, that still happens to this day. And I think we've got to the point now where businesses are going, okay, I want to use artificial intelligence to help my business find customers better, to find more customers, to improve my operations, to improve the customer experience and scale. Everyone's looking at the Googles, the Ubers, the Facebooks, and they're going, we don't even notice your AI. How on earth did you build this system to enable it to happen? And so yeah, this picture is really about, well, actually, how would you do this? And there's a lot of basics in IT here as well. So that it's not like you're going to laugh off a whole lot of effort.
Totally.
So do you want to?
Yeah, I'll bring it up now. But I think the point you're making here, Brett, is that great tech is invisible, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
So totally, Mike. I love it when you're a CIO and no one knows your name in your organization. That's because you're doing a phenomenal job.
Totally.
And the same principle applies to artificial intelligence. It's just creating this amazing experience both in your organization and with your customers. Totally. But you've got to get some basics right.
You do. So let me bring up your picture. So I've overlaid the picture AI so everyone can actually see it. And I'm really sorry about the animations there, Brett. I mean, I know you really wanted to show us how cool the actual animation itself were, but no animations here. No animations. So take us through.
Okay, so I think we've got to start with the eye. The eye is where I usually build it up. And there are two core platforms to it. And the first one is removing the data silos within your organization. And the second one is modernizing your infrastructure. So it's the two top and tail of the eye. If we look at that, let's start with the modernization of your infrastructure. This should be something that everyone is doing. And I know you read all the Gartner reports and you see that 63% of all businesses are going cloud this year. The reality is they're not quite there. They're doing little pockets of cloud. I know it sounds crazy. I'm saying let's go get AI right. But really, in order to make AI right, you've got to have the right compute in place. You've got to make sure you've got access to this unlimited compute power. So that's the first step. In order to do that, you've got to go cloud. I know some guys are going to go, and you and I have this debate the whole time. Oh, I'm going to put it in my local data center. I'm going to run a bunch of VMs. Guys, catch a wake up. You need unlimited compute, and you need it instantly. So the first step in learning about this world is creating this cloud ops environment where you're literally lifting and shifting your your current compute footprint out of your current data centers that are costing a fortune to manage. You just don't see it because you paid for it 3 years ago. Hopefully 5 years ago, you've got your return on investment and you're out. The next step is you need to start modernizing that compute, because I don't care whether it's in a data center or in the cloud, VMs cost money. So, you need to be responsible. You need to get the compute under control. You need to get it into something called containers as quickly as you can. All these major cloud providers run containers. My favorite example is Google. For the last 13 years, absolutely every piece of technology runs on a container there. They're running billions of containers at any one stage. They invented the stuff. So get it into a microservice component or use other software as a service platforms that are using containerization, but get yourself off the world of VMs. Some cases it's a quick move, other cases you've got a 2-3 year period of re-architecturing, rebuilding. I get it. It starts now. The next important phase, Mike, is removing those data silos. In every application, you have a database, whether it's a SaaS application, whether it's an on-site application, whether it's your SAP, whether it's your HR, whether it's whatever, your core systems. You've got tons of data sitting there that for years you've been trying to extract into a data warehouse, and you run batch jobs overnight extracting data and then trying to link this data up in other databases. And then you heard about this thing called a data lake, and you applied the same kind of thinking of batch jobbing stuff in and out, because you know why people ran batch jobs? Because they had limited compute. They had to schedule a certain time of day to be able to extract data from those systems. And it was usually in the middle of the evening when the systems are quiet, when you had spare capacity, because no one was going to spend the extra money. Guys, you're in the cloud now. You can plug in real-time data pipelines that are continuously pulling data real-time out of it and transforming it real-time into your data lake. Suddenly you have this consistent set of data. Your data is accessible. You can run dashboards in it. You can visualize it. You can do your analytics on it. And because it's in the cloud, you're no longer waiting weeks to run reports, or hours, or even minutes. And the amount of benchmarks we have done where we run this huge computer on site with 64 cores, and we do a comparison in, say, BigQuery or Redshift, and within seconds you're getting the results. That's because you have uncapped compute. Super important. Now you're there. You're going to build out the data. You've got your data pipelines in place. That's called data ops, data operations. You're going to start thinking about your ML ops, machine operations. And again, it's the same thing. You conceptualize the idea of what you want to build as an algorithm. You build the algorithm in the right tools that are accessing those data sets. You are training the models. You're releasing into production. And then you're taking your learnings and you're retraining them, and you start again. And it's a cycle. It's a bit like DevOps. DevOps is kind of what you would be doing with your code in your containers, but here you're doing ML ops. So this whole I is essentially a bunch of tech ops. You've got your cloud ops managing your VMs. You've got your DevOps managing your code into containers. You've got your data ops managing your pipelines. You've got your ML ops managing the ability to deliver algorithms and retrain, Mike. That's the foundation. It's easy, right?
Yeah, it's so easy, Brett. I mean, I'm 100% with you. I mean, so easy we can all go and do it tomorrow, can't we? Hey?
Exactly. And I think that's the struggle. Most people are going, well, I've got an application running. I don't touch the bloody thing. You know what? My network's finally stable. Please do not touch it. My servers that keep going down every night, and I really don't have any backup. I'm trying to keep, stitched together. So this does sound daunting to a lot of IT experts across the world when we say, it's as easy as that. Guys, you need to assess where you are. Like Mike and I are passionate. We put together this maturity assessment. It's a matrix. And if you follow our other series called Making AI Work, it's a video series. We drop it every week or so, 5 minutes. We're dealing with helping you understand where you are on that maturity graph. Are you just starting, or are you super mature like a Google? Where do you fall? if you understand where you are, you know where to start on making these kind of capabilities happen.
No, absolutely. And whilst you were going through that, I was having some cool fun driving this whole platform in front of me here. So it was a bit woo, woo, woo. But it was cool, Brett. I was making
Oh, to
AI
play
work
around.
that, yeah, I was zooming in on you and I was zooming out and I was having you overlaid. You can go back and watch the video.
I'm really excited, Mike.
So,
You're turning into a proper
so
video production guy. You're not just a podcaster anymore.
not at all, not at all. But I think that's a great start, Brett. And I think we will start bringing in guests. We're busy rounding up the crew, so we started off slowly, a bit undercover, and we'll start ramping these series up in a bit more detail. Hey, Brett.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I don't want to deal with the A next because the A is the really exciting part. I think what we've got to get our heads around as business is that there's a bunch of work that needs to be done. You need to get the plumbing right.
Yeah.
You need to get the engineering right. If you don't start focusing on that over the next 2 years, you're going to fall miles behind. And I know some people are deploying Agile in their business. Great start, cool. Some people are trying to figure out DevOps. They just got some tools in place. Yes, these things take time. So we're saying start it now, figure out where you want to start. But hopefully this I gives you an indication of what you need to have in place. Without it, you can dabble in artificial intelligence and try some vision APIs or try some NLP with chatbots. And again, I've yet to see all these chatbot companies doing pure NLP. Most of them are writing hard decision trees, code to map out the decision trees, which is, archaic in today's world. You need to be focusing on building intents. But, try. You can do these pockets of things right now. Get the basis done. You do that right,
Yep.
your data scientists can bring real value to your business using artificial intelligence. At the moment, they are handcuffed. There's nothing that they can do. It's a bit like watching Mike start a live series on YouTube.
And look, it's a lot of fun. I'm actually having fun. I mean, our poor one guest here is probably getting seasick. So I don't know. It's probably your mother, Brett.
Yeah, no. So one of the 4 guests was my mum. So
Yes.
my mum says hi, mum, if you are there. Talk about missing our exponential target, Mike.
Totally.
We got 1 live viewer. We're meant to have 8. Anyway, we live and learn. I think we've got to get used to getting this out and telling people about it way ahead of time. And the more consistent we are at launching at 12 o'clock, the more that people will join. So for those of you who are not seeing it live, please comment. We'll get back to you on comments. We'll share some views. Please reach out to us. We really are here to share and help make this community stronger and better and help make it accessible to business, guys.
Totally.
If business doesn't understand this, you can sit with your lab coats on and twiddle your thumbs.
And on that twiddly thumbly note, Brett, I think it's time to say thank you. I did enjoy that. I always like listening to you ramble on, waffle on.
I knew you could say ramble on. I fucking knew it, eh?
Good thing I didn't tick the kiddies friendly box here. So yeah. Brett, I'll talk to you tomorrow at 12, bud.
Awesome. Chat to you then. See
Cheers.
you.
Bye.